Well, actually, the reverse is really the truthful statement because we only have 3 maps left. Mandelbrick is now everything. There's only 3 Mandelbricks that anybody can get at all, which means if you get a Mandelbrick in this map, you are 100% certain getting top 3 at minimum, which is a huge, huge boon when top 2 make land. You've got to play for Mandelbricks in this round, and you've got to decode this Mandelbrick with enough time. Tiff, if what happens in game 2 on Brackish happens again here in Space City, then it really will be you get a Mandelbrick, you make land, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, honestly, if you could say that again, because my brain literally can't process the fact that one singular Mandelbrick could potentially happen. Let's go ahead. Let's look at our operators. Let's see what's been used so we can kind of theory craft on what could potentially come into play here. For teams like Black and Yellow, they completely used up Shepard, used up Nox, and now going into this triple Mandelbrick series that on the back half, we oftentimes see a lot of Saniva, a lot of Luna, and then like the inklings of a toxic D-Wolf and Viren, which AKA completely burnt their Virens out.
Yeah, again, they burned them out in the same round, which I thought was super interesting. Also worth looking at, Mango's spread is probably the most interesting to me. In 3 games, they've depleted 3 operators fully, which is wild. It's an interesting strategy. It does seem like they are prioritized leaving Saniva, Luna, Shepard, some of the operators we've been talking about that are super valuable for Mandelbrick rounds for these last 3 Mandelbrick rounds. You could watch Mangu make a late tournament resurgence and absolutely make a play for one of these Mandelbricks in these next 3 rounds. I'm excited about this roster. Let's see what they're able to do. Black and Yellow, decently even spread across the board, keeping their options open. It's super fun to theory craft because we're just at the beginning of this esport. And there is no meta way to play this yet. EU played totally different from North America. North America playing totally different operator choices. Every team playing this slightly differently. But with 3 maps to go, you've got to get a Mandelbrick. And folks, we all love a good Space City map, and we're on Space City for the rest of this tournament. Whether we play 2 more or we play all 3 of these next maps, Tiff, I'm pumped about it. Let's see where everybody spawns in Space City and who goes where.
Oh, get us into it. Maybe we'll have some crazy fights, but everyone relatively positioned towards their area. We're equal distance around that. But you can see Black and Yellow, AKA, and even JTH are getting involved in trying to set their footprint early on where that Mandelbrick will spawn. Now, Goj, was it JTH is the ones that messaged you and said, hey, just wait till Space 80, wait till we show out?
Yeah, I mean, hey, they showed out in the DFEI. It's the reason they won the competition was the Space City round. So, hey, look, I'll take it from them. We'll see if they're able to execute on their game plan. They're going to be playing through Chamber here, what I call the southeastern quadrant of the middle of the map. I said this during EU. You basically have the 4 corners style around this Mandelbrick when it spawns here in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. You can see that timer in the middle of your screen on the map view. Can't pick it up until that timer is done. Everybody lays claim to a building in this quadrant. There's a couple of decoding stations that have been really fun to watch. By the way, while we've been yapping, Killzall and that Ink squad decides not to play around the Mandelbrick, and they've actually found, I think it was 2 drives worth about 227k a piece. So a nice early lead on the overall asset category.
Something to note here is that Ink is one of the only teams to kind of come in with full gold armor. So it's like they're geared up to take a ton of people down or really chow for that initial Mandelbrick, since that first one in match number 2 was pretty much scrapped. I think this is the first time we're actually going, I say this, but all of these teams could be positioning to your right, coexist by the Mandelbrick and dare someone else to grab it.
AKA just running up the middle. They're going to take the middle position of the map. Be curious to look at their perspective as we take a look at Black and Yellow, JTH, all moving towards this Mandelbrick, all moving to a position to try to take it. AKA has taken the middle. Ink's actually found spades on an off angle on the right side of the map. Here's a look, potentially, at that encounter. It seems like Ink just wipes spades as well, so he's going to be on yellow timer. There's the encounter. I was taking a look on the map, and SFC's been playing this bridge the whole time. This is one of the longest sightlines in the game, and Ink is punishing them with the loot they brought in. TTK is going to be real fast in this one. Yes, we're going to see gold armor, purple armor for some of these teams, but we also see tier 5 ammo. we're going to be frying.
Oh, no, they're solid gold. I will say JTH did bring in some gold ammo as well, but didn't really prioritize the gold armor. Only one player has the gold helmet and armor. So kills all here. Solid gold. Quickly dispensing of that. And honestly, I love that we're kind of pushing up to where we found spades, because that would mean that the rest of SFC is likely lurking around here.
In the meantime, by the way, everybody's lying in wait around that mana brick. Don't worry, we'll swap if it gets mixy. You'll see the mana brick able to be picked up here right now. There it is. See if anybody's moving towards it. Yes, black and yellow immediately move towards it. Don't waste an iota of a moment. Grab the mana brick and run for their lives. They're trying to get this mana brick into a decoding station quickly, as the rest of these teams are moving slowly. This time around, folks, there is no waiting. Black and yellow heard the call and said, let's get active. We're trying to win this tournament. We're trying to make it to land in China. Let's get mixy. And they're going to swing way outside. And they're actually skipping this decoding station. No way. Yet again, a new station on main stage. We're headed all the way up to the dormitories, and look who's already there. They spawned there. They've been hanging out there. Mangu playing this decoding station. This is gonna be fun.
I'm nervous because I can't remember if this is the team that decided to go down the west gate, but you see the util. It's gonna come out immediately, and they could have waited a bit longer until they were a more like precarious situation, and then it easily picked them up. Because all that does is send off the warning bells, send black and yellow down and out, and they're like, okay, this was not a good move for us. So now where do we go? Do we go to the one that's kind of in that entryway just across from the buoyancy lab, or do we decide to go to Black Chamber? Black Chamber is going to be pretty difficult to go to, and I think this is going to be the one that will likely be the focus.
Yeah, this is the one that we've seen most oftentimes because it's the closest to the decoding station. They just took the longest possible route to get there. Mana brick goes in their decoding station. Here we go. Now, as a reminder, too, if you didn't watch EU, Space City, if you haven't seen this in a while, this decoding station, extremely hard to lock down. You basically have two choices. Either play in this front building, or front side of this building, or the back side of this building. And it looks like black and yellow are trying to do a little bit of both. With nobody here early on the decode, they can kind of set up however they want. You're going to have AKA over the top. JTH, Jack Tan, and Handsome down below. Zomo catches the wrong end of a couple bullets. Decides to back up a little bit. Asking for some help to play these trades.
Okay, but I mean, we still have it. And honestly, we've seen players play from this position before. You just kind of anchor down in this building. These doors are going to provide some information, right? As soon as you kind of maybe, if you need to shut them, you can, but you know JTH is here. You've already sent out the warning shots. If I'm JTH, I'm backing up for the time being. I don't want to be the team that has that first kind of initial battle here. Let someone else open that up. And hopefully someone does waltz into this so it allows you to take that third party.
I think it's a great shout, Tiff. We've only seen a team get a free decode on this station one time. And that free decode was not the winning moment, but it was the moment that set Mandelbrick Addiction from EU up for the win. They were given a decode for free for some reason. People said, no, we'll get it in the next one. And unfortunately, the next one, Mandelbrick Addiction got that as well and win the whole tournament. So I don't think North America will let this one fly. Not for free. Information gained by AKA. Articuno over the top. Bulletproof glass. We're going to find the full team of three. Watch which way they're rotating. We're going to have to play this decode. Black and yellow. Still plenty of time. 2 minutes on the clock. Patience a virtue, but at some point it's going to come back to bite you here, Tiff.
I mean, plenty of time. Under 2 minutes. It's very similar to what we saw in match number 2, right? No one was looking to get involved, but at least from this line of sight here, you can kind of look towards where we could potentially see some things. Ink now on the move. I think we wrap around this and kind of focus on. For JTH, looks like teams are starting to rotate in. SFC, the duo.
They've got a knock on SFC, so this is huge to get the cleanup, which they should be able to do so. Hopefully a couple frags could do it rather than using gun, but either way, it looks like our crawling player has actually made it inside. A little bit too late, a little bit too slow on the draw for JTH. Let me draw your eyes back to the top middle of the screen. 60 seconds for black and yellow on the clock. Does look like Loco eventually bled out there. Could be able to get the revive, but JTH knows, hey, we got to make a play for this mantle brick. Black and yellow are giving a mantle brick for free right now if we don't make a play, and Mango is thinking a lot of the same. They're going to come up from the low side. Infant Baby could play spoiler to this team, but you really want Mango's team to get into the mix and go make a play for the steal, and then you come in third, like you mentioned, Tiff. Everybody converging on this point, but we are running out of daylight. Somebody's got to make the first move, and whoever does may get punished for it, but they may save the day before black and yellow take an early lead with the mantle brick.
And you have Sky's kind of watching this first door that's going to be closest to the member of Mengu. So knowing that that door is likely going to open the moment they hear something, and there it goes. Sky's on out. You can hit the detection arrow and then start throwing down the Volt arrows as well. But we're going to prioritize the Volt, save the detection for later.
10 seconds.
And now, just have to anchor down. You grab the knock on a Zomo. You immediately pop onto it. Do you have enough time to go ahead and steal it? There it goes. Locked in. 3:30 on the clock.
Holy cow, Mango goes absolutely insane. Ice is up in the moment and steals the code. The timer reset, but Mango not done. They feel like they're hot, and they are, so they're going to push this equation. They swing over and unfortunately get punished by Loco. January, no, Articuno, a.k.a. win the gunfight. Mango might have stolen it and saved the day against black and yellow, but they get punished. They overheated. They get cut down. The first team to get eliminated in this map.
Someone's going to have to steal it, though, because if it does go through on the decoding, it likely will not, and it will get thrown away because they are fully wiped. For AKA, a nice bit of steadiness for the time being. And JTH, they have answered the call. They heard the fight, and Equal sent straight around to get lasered. Articuno picks up 2. Equal and Nowhere, both down and out. Oh, my God.
AKA coming alive. Now, the funny note is that Mengu's technically the team that has the decode going here at 2.5 minutes. There is no rush for anyone. Worst case scenario, nobody steals it. Mengu doesn't even get the brick because they're full wipe. Just nobody gets the brick. Of course, that will not happen, but there isn't a rush, and there's plenty of time on the clock. AKA gonna loot up, grab what they can on bodies nearby. 60 MG is way too far away. They've been doing this as a duo. We've seen January and Articuno do crazy things on main stage before. But this is a highlight level map waiting to be finished out by them if they can pick up a couple more kills.
Okay, I see some reses coming on through. But for now, SFC will be a duo. Black and yellow looking to get their homie back on up. You can see that timer going up. We're getting closer to picking Skies up. You can see AKA in the back, moving closer towards the decoding station, and Smoke's on out. Not actually going to pop on it just yet. You have Ink down this line of sight that will be difficult to contend with.
Oh, no. As they had the angle, January, you are so lucky a couple of those bullets didn't connect. Able to stay alive for a moment. No, gets punished. Zomo peeks out the door. Takes down Jan, just overextends there for a moment. They wanted to steal the decode, but they had plenty of time. They didn't have to force it, but as a duo, they get punished. Articuno now the last remaining player for AKA, so we swing over to Killzall's angle. He's got an angle on the door. If black and yellow sell by overextending here, he's going to punish them. I think he hears some footsteps down below as well. Gonna try to get some info with the guided missile. Wait, there's one running out. He connects on it. Drops Zomo. Says, you're not stealing anything, my friend. Take a missile to the face. Aluru coming in clutch as he makes a play through the smoke. He's got a time. 30 seconds on the clock. He should be able to steal this here. Ink now in charge of the mana brick, but everybody knows he's there.
Second place hailing from the regional semifinals in Group A. And now JTH said, let me get involved on Space City, and look who shows on out. We do see Nowhere kind of fall right there towards the end, but not before they were able to grab a knock onto Killzall.
Ink in a bit of trouble. Killzall, the hero to steal the decode. As a reminder, the decoding, every time it's stolen, drops the starting timer by 30 seconds. So it was 3.5 for the first steal, 3 minutes for the second steal. We're at 2.5 currently. If it gets stolen, it'll jump back up to 2.5. It'll keep decreasing on every steal. Minimum, though, 1 minute and 30 seconds. 7 minutes on the clock. We've got plenty of time for multiple steals here, but we'll pay attention to those timers as the teams try to recuperate, recover, Ink back on their feet, and technically in control. No one having to move too early here as Jack 10 and Handsome get to a power position to hold the store.
JTH and Ink are the only trios left alive. You know JTH is kind of thinking, hey, black and yellow, there's potential for them to still be inside. Ink is down here just a bit farther. That's going to be that team of 3. And then you have one member of SFC lurking. You can see about half health down there towards the middle.
He's actually down below in the middle. You're right. So he's going to be hanging out. It looks like he doesn't even have all the meds he needs to get back to full health, if I'm reading that correctly, which is insane. So just going to try to play spoiler to somebody and pick up 300K. JTH, albeit they don't have the code currently, Ink does. They are probably in the most powerful position. They have the best angle. They have control over the alleyway here. They can make a play for this brick right now if they want to. There's only one player that can spoil it. It's Killzall. Nice shot over the top. Make sure no guided missiles are hitting you. Of course, the swarm comes in. It's going to start depleting your health. And he doesn't get the decode?
No, he popped off at the moment the swarm came in and connected.
Oh, I thought he was just going to commit to it.
It's not like they have any smokes to make use of that. And they keep on trying. 37 seconds to go.
Gosh.
Ink could potentially another incendiary coming on through. We try to go for it, but we lose our life in the process. Equal and nowhere, the last 2 members for the time being of that team, but it's Killzall. Just the lineups are so crazy for him in terms of those incendiaries.
Okay, JTH, they jump it. They get it. They at least reset it, but they get punished for it. And so does Bay. Black and yellow down to a solo. Black and yellow out of here. The perfect setup from Infant Baby. The perfect setup from Ink. They have maintained control over this alleyway with the long angle of the incendiaries. Sing Sung almost stole it on the first take, but the incendiary did just enough damage. That last tick took him out before he got the steal, which means as he went in and died, Equal also had to go in and die and get knocked at the very least. Unreal. Nowhere the last remaining player on their feet for now, but they do have control of the brick currently. Jack 10 and Handsome just buying a little extra time on the map, getting their revive. They're going to be a duo fighting a full team of 3 of Ink.
Yeah, but Killzall is going for it right now. We know that JTH is focusing on getting their teammates back on up, but what they do is they extend on out through the hallway and decide, okay, we're going to hand on it now. So we still have this 2v3.
Nice. Ink's jumped the body, jumped Sing Song's body, taking control. And Infant Baby is taking the power position in this alleyway. They know there's a lot of teams out of this map. We can play a little bit more aggressive when we have player advantage. They're going to swing on this fight. You're going to need a hero play from Jack 10 and Handsome, or Ink is going to be your first team. They get the knock. 1 down. It's a 3v1. If they play this correctly, they play over the top. They don't even need the help. They find one. But Grimmy's comes in from behind. We knew he'd play spoiler. He's got to win a 1v3. Jack 10 and Handsome are out of this lobby. Ink in control of the Mandel Brick right now, but plenty of time. Grimmy, as a solo, going to have to be the hero. Picks up 1,
1v2.
Full wiped, 2 players remaining. It's getting nervous.
Plenty of time to make this work. Plenty of time. We just need to isolate them. If you're Ink, as long as you stay together, this should be a fight that you can take and win. Reminder here.
Here we go.
They came in fully kitted out with gold, mostly gold ammo, but it doesn't even matter. He finds 2 easy. Grimmy looking for a clutch.
Through the smoke, finds the other. Does he win the 1v3, Grimmy? He is him. He is the hero. He waited, lied in wait. He is the alligator, the crocodile snapping at your ankles. Wipes all 3 players, steals the brick, and there's enough time. My neighbors can hear me right now. Unbelievable job from Grimmy. Perfect patience, perfect breaking sight lines to isolate the 1v3s into 1v1s. Unbelievable job. This kid is different.
This is the true definition of absolute cinema as we run that back, because I don't think we can see it enough.
This is what I'm talking about. He got the first knock through the smoke, finds the second, realizes the second player is behind him to the right. He breaks line of sight and then re-chows it. And Infant Baby wasn't ready for it. Unreal wipe full team of 3 down and enough time to get the decode. Grimmy is just loving life right now. He doesn't technically know that the entire lobby is wiped. He's got to stay looking at this decoding station just to make sure. But oh my goodness. A hero amongst the plebeians of this map. This man just went absolutely massive, Tiff. And I
have no words for it either.
You've got to expect, too, that Inc., after their wipe on Jack Tan and Handsome, were like, we've done it, boys. Perfectly executed. Because they played it perfect until this guy showed up.
Oh, as soon as you push on a JTH and you're literally keeping them in that corner, the Mandel Brick secured 4 kills for him, 1.2 million in asset value right there. And not only that, but you get to run through every single body that is left on the ground with just a minute amount of time, right? And I don't think we're getting out of here, and that's okay. Because you know what you can do?
Oof.
You have some stuff for your safe box.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you find some decent ammo, actually. Yeah, you're right. You get out with only your safe box. So whatever you can stuff in there, you're going to lose everything else. Some ammo, maybe some parts potentially. Actually, I don't think you put parts in there. So it's just going to be ammo or any loot that some of these players weren't able to put in their safe box. The ammo box is going to be easily the most valuable. ID tags also have inherent value in our tournament format, so might as well take those as well. I think they're a couple 100K, actually. And swapping things into your bag at this point won't make a difference. It's all about that safe box, but gonna do some mathematical calculations we've all done before. The loot Tetris. We got the full gambit. We got the full operations gameplay loop. Hero 1v3s, making the lobby look like pubs, and then the loot Tetris at the end, and a Mandel Brick decode. Cinema's a great word for it, Tiff.
Just cinema indeed. But here's the deal. When we get back to the lobby, what is it going to look like for our players that have lost the fight here? How much of
Invitational Qualifiers, North American Regional Finals. We are having a banger, folks, and match 4 just got wrapped up. And obviously the score is pretty close after the 4th match because really nobody got out of the map. And by really, I mean everybody. No, not one person, Jeff, got out of the map. And because of that, a decently even spread across the board. But of course, we've got to draw our eyes to that Mandel Brick column. SFC on the back of Grimmy by himself gets that Mandel Brick, puts them at the top of the leaderboard regardless of total assets, sets them up for success to make land.
Yeah, this is also the team that came in as the winner from Group B in the semifinals, just semi-regional finals last weekend. They had the 2 Mandel Bricks and 29 mil in loot. So we know they know how to absolutely destroy a lobby. And if it's on the back of Grimmy in match number 4, then it definitely is. And a nice 2.5 mil in assets there, aka close behind them, you know, ahead of the assets, just minus a Mandel Brick. So kind of unfortunate there in black and yellow, and pretty nicely despite not being able to finish off the D code. So close. First to the jump as soon as the Mandel Brick got there and almost pulled it off.
Yeah, almost pulled it off. Gotta take a look at the overall leaderboard and see where everybody lands. Of course, SFC is going to be at the top regardless of loot value. They do have double digits, though, but just about everybody does. That's how close this competition has been. SFC, sorry, at the top because of the Mandel Brick. Jack Tan and Handsome technically in second place, but again, less than 3 million separating second and third. This is absolutely anyone's ball game, and so we've got to set the stakes with a leaderboard this tight across the board, even front to bottom. I mean, Mengu even could absolutely make a leap up into second place just on loot value in this next one. Tiff, we got to set the stakes. If SFC win map 5 by getting the Mandel Brick, tournament over, SFC making it, and then second place will be based on loot value. So there's 2 sides of a coin going into this map. Do you play for loot value? Do you play for the brick? I think you've got to do a little bit of both.
It depends on if someone's going to grab the brick right off the rip again. Like if black and yellow, as soon as that timer is up and it spawns, they rip it and ship it straight to a decode station, then it kind of changes your course of action and what you plan on doing. Like if you were going to just loot up and wait until someone grabs